हॅलो. हा, कांबळे सर आवाज येतोय का? हॅलो.
हा हा बोला सर.
आवाज येतोय ना व्यवस्थित?
हो हो आवाज येतो.
ओके ओके.
कांबळे सर. हा आवाज येतो. हो आवाज येतो.
हॅलो कांबळे सर. कांबळे सर.
हॅलो.
हा सर.
हा बोला.
सरगई मॅम जवळ आहेत का तिथं?
हा सरांना फोन केलाय.
ओके. नाही सरगई मॅम आणि तुमच्यामध्ये
तर
अंतर
तुम्ही
ठेवताय आपले शेजारी शेजारी. हॅलो.
हा खंडेराव सर. हा खंडेराव सर. हे सगळे मोबाईल इथं झाले. हॅलो सर. ते खंडेराव सर जे आहेत ना, बोधिसत्व खंडेराव, त्यांचा फोटो दिसतोय. त्यांना हे करा सर, लिंक करून घ्या. तुमच्या नावाखाली आहे बा.
हा काय करायचं?
त्यांना जॉईन करून घ्यायचं. ते आपले वक्ते आहेत, स्पीकर आहेत. त्यांना
ओके.
हा हा
त्यांना हे करू सर, व्हिडिओ आणि ते कार्याचं ऑन करू दोन्ही पण.
हॅलो.
हा सर.
काय म्हणतात?
गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
मॉर्निंग सर.
आणि हे तुझं नाव चेंज
नाही, ते लिंक करून पुन्हा जॉईन करावं. ते नाव तसं सेव्ह झालं.
करणं मग ते.
हॅलो खंडेराव सर. हॅलो.
हा सर बोलतोय.
हा सर, जस्ट बी ऑनलाईन. हा बाकी अरेंजमेंट
राईट
होत आहेत. हा हो हो.
ओबेस सर. हॅलो.
हा
असं तुम्ही तुमच्या चेहऱ्यासमोर आहे ना मोबाईल, असा व्यवस्थित तुमचा चेहरा वरती जाऊ राहिला, थोडं अंतर ठेवा त्याच्यामध्ये.
असं ठेवू ना?
हा हेडफोन वापरा सर, आवाज हे होणार, थिरकणार नाही. म्हणजे
हेडफोन नाही आणला.
नाही अंदाज.
मॅडम तुम्ही लावा तुमचा हेडफोन. बर. ते आपले वक्ते पण जॉईन झाले, प्राचार्य जॉईन झाले का फक्त?
हो नाही झाले सर, आणखी नाही झाले.
असं आहे का?
हा असं दुसरं असं होतं की कोणाला तरी सांगून सगळ्यांना, आपले पार्टिसिपंट जे आहेत ना, सगळ्यांना जॉईन करायला सांगा.
मॅडम ते आत्ताचे सगळीकडे लिंक फिरवा ना, कोकणी सरांनी दिली.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. कोकणे सर आवाज येतो का? कोकणे सर.
हा सर.
येतो का आवाज? येतो का?
हो व्यवस्थित.
व्यवस्थित येतोय ना?
हो.
इकडे आवाज तिकडे बघा आवाज येतोय. कोकणे सर.
हा सर.
काहीतरी असं मध्ये मध्ये आवाज येत होता.
बंद
तुम्ही
झाला
जवळ
ना?
शेजारी का?
मी एकटाच आहे सर. कोणाचा तरी आवाज चिरकतो.
कोणाचा आवाज चिरकतोय बरोबर ना? कोणातरी आवाज चिरकतोय बरोबर.
आवरे सर.
हा सर.
कोकणे सरचाच आवाज तिकडे काहीतरी प्रॉब्लेम आहे, कारण आता कुठं बंद झाला ना आता.
हा 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 बरोबर बरोबर.
त्यांची तर 2 डिव्हाइस चालू इलेक्ट्रिक.
शेजारी शेजारी कोणतरी बसलेलं आहे. शेजारी शेजारी बसल्यानंतर आवाज होतो. नमस्कार सर. पोर सर पण जॉईन झाले. सर नमस्कार. पोर सर नमस्कार.
नमस्कार नमस्कार.
तसं एकेरीने बोललं पाहिजे तुम्हाला बरं का, पण आता तुम्ही सहकारी असल्यामुळं नमस्कार तुवर सर म्हणजे डॉक्टर साहेब असं म्हटलं पाहिजे होय. ते आता आम्हाला सवय लागली होय घरच्या सारखं.
सगळं तुम्हीच बोला, पण
आम्हाला घरसारखं सवय लागली सर आता बोलायची.
ते पण सगळं तुम्हीच बोला. आज नाही बोलायला पाहिजे, तसं नाही बोलायला पाहिजे परत.
आपण तरी
माझं काही
नमस्कार सर.
सॉरी म्हटलं सर.
हॅलो हॅलो
हा सर.
हॅलो
हा सर.
तुवर सर नमस्कार. नमस्कार तुवर सर. सपकाळ सर.
नमस्कार वसंतराव.
नमस्कार नमस्कार. काय फोटो चांगला दिसू राहिला तुमचा.
हा चांगला
माणूसच चांगला.
माणूस गोरा कोणता आहे ना.
हा गोरा गोमटा.
लेक्चर कसं द्यायचं सांगा, पंचित न करू.
इंग्लिश इंग्लिश.
काय पण कशावर आहे काय?
मॅडम सांगतील ना, ते सस्पेन्स ठेवलेलं आहे आम्ही. ते प्रस्तावित करणार आहे, तोपर्यंत ऐकायचं. त्यांच्याकडून ऐकायचं नाही. इंग्रजीचा मान आहे सध्या.
मग मी जाऊ बाहेर?
नाही नाही थांबा ना, असं काय
मला माहितच नाही ना, काहीतरी लिंक पडली म्हणून मी जॉईन झालोय आमच्या कुठेतरी पीएचडीच्या ग्रुपवर.
एक मिनिट. सर्वे मॅडम सांगतील विषय काय येतो. विषय सांगा मॅडम. कोणत्या विषयावर आहे? सॉफ्ट स्किल वर आहे सर. हॅलो.
मग ते प्राध्यापकाला विद्यार्थ्यांना एक प्राध्यापकाला
प्राध्यापक आणि विद्यार्थी दोघांनाही सर. दोघांना गरज आहे त्याची.
मला वाटलं टीवायच्या विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी.
नाही नाही प्राध्यापक आणि विद्यार्थी सर्वांना आहे सर.
बर बर बर. उभा उभा असत ना बरोबर. हा चला चला जाऊन येतो बाहेर. ठीक आहे. नेवाशाच लोकांचं आलं ऑनलाईन. हॅलो सर, काय मॅडम आवाज येतोय का?
येस सर.
हा येतो आवाज सर.
ठीक आहे चल.
कोकणे सर सूत्रसंचालन.
सर्वे मॅडम सूत्रसंचालन.
दुर्गा मॅडम पण.
हो, त्यांना आहे सर.
बाकीच्यांनी माईक बंद करायची सूचना करा. सरगाय मॅडम चालू करा.
Hello.
हा चालू करा.
A very good morning to one and all. Harvard University survey said that 80% of one's success at the workplace is attributed to soft skills and only 15% to technical skills. Now, this is Renuka, Assistant Professor, Sri Naneshwar Mahavidyalaya Nivasa. As a representative, I welcome all the dignitaries, colleagues, and the students who are virtually gathered here for a one-day webinar on role of soft skills in professional life organized by Mula Education Societies, Sri Naneshwar Mahavidyalaya, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, and the Department of English. I especially welcome today's distinguished personality, Dr. Khanderao GR, who accepted our invitation and gives us opportunity to listen him. I am very grateful to our Vice President, Udayendada Gadak Patil, and the Principal, Dr. Kalhapuri GB, who are always supporting for development of the faculties and the students. I would like to invite our Honorable Principal, Dr. Kalhapuri GB, to inaugurate and welcome the program. Over to Sir.
Okay. Dr. Khanderao sir, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. Good morning, teachers, scholars, and students. I am very glad to offer my best wishes for today's webinar,
Video चालू होत नाही.
Role of Soft Skills in Professional Life,
As disabled.
organized by the Department of English, Sri Naneshwar Mahavidyalaya Nivasa. I welcome today's resource person, Dr. Khanderao Ganesh, dignitaries, scholars, teachers, and students for the proposed virtual event. I congratulate Dr. Yuri Kamble, Sargai Madam, and Department of English for having selected a dynamic subject. Friends, Nehru once said, educate people and they will take care of themselves. The purpose of education is to make students competent. Educated student is the wealth of a nation. Last 2 years were quite challenging on the account of COVID-19. Due to it, teaching learning process got hampered. A number of students have been left out from formal education. Therefore, I must say that the role and responsibilities of teachers have increased towards society and students. It will not be wrong to say that multidisciplinary programs would bridge the gap of communication, boost their confidence, also mold them to become change makers of the society. Polishing students with soft skills are as important as teaching literature. I must say that introducing these skills is the need of time. In the terms of output, the webinar will prove an important achievement for all those who serve somewhere or job seekers. India and other countries are in immense need of trained people who is self-motivated and adaptable. In fact, they are key to a sustainable future. I think every institution must plan something this direction. It will bring out vibrant change, the attitude of students. It will be a great help for an individual's growth. Though and many training programs like this, we shall be able to create confident, competitive, and resourceful students who would cater the need of society and Indian economy. I hope that the topic of the webinar would enhance awareness among participating members. Teachers shall train their students. I express heartiest wishes for the success of this seminar. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite coordinator of IQAC, Dr. Avare DV, to say a few words on the proposed virtual event. Yes, over to Dr. Avare, sir.
Thank you, madam. Good morning to all of you. I'm Dr. Avare DV, IQAC coordinator. Gnaneshwar Mahavidyalaya Nevasa. IQAC works. Good morning, sir. IQAC works according to vision and mission of the NAC as well as our college. That is our vision mission is Jote Vansil Tote Laho. The main objective of both of these is the overall development of our students and faculties. Hence, IQAC organize various programs apart from our formal education, like a seminar, workshop, then seminar, workshop, and group discussion, etc. Our college arranged the workshop on the topics like human values and ethics, how to use modern technology in teaching learning process, soft skill development, and also our college organized various programs through student welfare, NSS, and NCC. Recently, we organized a workshop on NetSet guidance for UG and PG students, research ethics, patent act, copyright act, use of ICT in teaching and learning process. Today, we are going to conduct a seminar or webinar on a very important topic, that is role of soft skill in professional life. This role of soft skill it is not important in professional life, but it is also important in our real life. Hence, I welcome to our honorable guest, Professor Dr. Ganesh Khanderao sir, Head of Department of Chemistry, Amalchand Mahavidyalaya, Yavatmal, and also welcome to all the students, teaching and non-teaching staff from our college and other institutes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. May I request the convener and the head of the Department of English, Dr. Kamble Yudi, to introduce today's resource person. Over to sir.
Good morning to teachers, students, and all my faculty friends for being the part of online webinar. I must thank Principal Kalapure GB for his unfailing support to run or to conduct any productive activity in college. I must admit that his vision always promulgates us to organize student, faculty, and societal focused programs. I also thank Vice Principal Professor Ganwat AJ for his valuable guidance. I thank Dr. Avare DV, Coordinator IQAC, for his best wishes and support for organizing the webinar. May I take an opportunity to introduce our today's honorable, valuable guest, Professor Khanderao. Sir is presently serving at Amolchand Mahavidyalaya, Yavatmal. Actually, his biodata is pretty vast. I actually would sum up it in short. There are some 15 papers at his credit. 2 articles are also lately published, and there is a book entitled Two Nigerian Patriot Novelists. Actually, this is the title of the book that is based on Chinua Achebe's writings. And this book has been published in 9 different languages, that is English, Polish, German, French, Indian, Dutch and Portuguese and Russian language. So has also prepared some 15 YouTube videos on literary topics. I must tell that he has also worked as an expert in syllabus drafting committee of Amravati. Actually, so it must be defined that soft skill is a kind of a interpersonal skill that is related to the personality traits, personal traits. In fact, there are number of other things must be taken in consideration, like how soft skills are useful in creating a positive and functional environment in school and colleges, maybe at workplaces. So, Sir will definitely emphasize on some of the aspects of soft skills, like what is communication, leadership, decision-making process, team work, time management, and creativity, and problem solving. I think this particular term is pretty exhaustive, but hope that Sir will lightly touch all these aspects and enlighten us in connection of it. With this note, I would like to request Sir to continue his lecture and enlighten us. So,
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Khanderao, sir, to enlighten us with his words. Over to sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. First of all, let me express my sincere gratitude to the Department of English of Shri Jnaneshwar Mahavidyalaya Nevasa for offering me this opportunity to talk on the allotted topic, like the role of soft skill in a professional life. Honorable Professor Dr. Kalapure sir, IKFC Coordinator Dr. Avare sir, and of course the convener of this program, Professor Dr. Kamble, HOD English Department, and Sargayi ma'am, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. And specifically, I'm very much grateful to the Vice President, Udayan Dada Garak Patil. Thanks a lot. Now let's see directly today's topic of the lecture, that is role of the soft skill in professional life. As you know, we are all professionals and we are working in numerous fields. So these soft skills are really most useful to all of us to be as a prominent personality in our related areas. So first of all, let's try to understand the difference between hard skills and soft skills. So what is the hard skills first of all? Hard skills, also called as a technical skills. Now, these skills are job oriented and relevant to each position in the job. In other words, each position is in every company will require a unique hard skills. For example, an accountant needs to know how to reconcile bank statements, while the knowledge is necessary for a software developer to have a great sense and knowledge about the software development. Here are some of the examples, like our degrees from the universities and the industrial certificates, coding ability, foreign language skill, typing speed, SEO marketing, bookkeeping, computer skills. All these are the hard skills. Now let's move towards the definitions, some of the definitions of the soft skills. Soft skills are general characteristics. It is relevant. These skills are more relevant to personality traits. Some soft skills you would like to see in all employees. We are all employed, and our master's employer wants to see all these soft skills among us. So you would like to see in all employees, regardless of their position or expertise, while other soft skills make sense in certain jobs, are less important in others. For example, if you value collaboration in your company, you want to hire employees who are great team players and can communicate well with others. On the other hand, networking and relationship building skills might be essential. These two skills are highly essential for sales and marketing roles. There is one more definition, and that is most important. Soft skills are character traits and interpersonal skills that characterize a person's relationship with other people. So in the workplace, soft skills are considered to be a complement to hard skills, which refer to a person's knowledge. It highlights, it exhibits person's knowledge and occupational skills. So according to sociologists, they have used this term, that is the soft skill, to describe it like this: a person's emotional intelligence quotient, that is EQ, as opposed to intelligence quotient, that is IQ. So here in soft skills, these soft skills develop the emotional quotients of the human being. So here are some of the key points which I would like to highlight over here. Soft skills include attributes and personality traits that help employee to interact with others and succeed in workplace. It includes the ability to communicate with prospective clients, mentor your co-workers, lead a team, negotiate a contract, follow instructions, and get a job done on time. Specifically, soft skills are those qualities that help us to build, maintain, and strengthen relationships. They are useful because they allow us to adapt to the inevitable changes, right now we are facing so many changes, right from education sector up to the private sectors. In every area, we are facing numerous changes. So these soft skills help us to adapt all these unavoidable, inevitable changes that come with age and time, of course. So life experience and work. As we progress through our careers and encounter new challenges in the workplace, these soft skills come into play. When we can build and maintain strong relationships with people, we strengthen our ability to do our best work. So that is the best output of the implementation of all these soft skills in our personal as well as in professional life. Now let's see one of the most important soft skills, and that is the communication. Communication skills are always most important among all the soft skills listed here. I have listed numbers of soft skills. No matter what your position is, your principal, your manager, your subordinate, your employee, no matter what position you're enjoying, you need to be able to communicate effectively with people you work with. That is most important. So in communication, what comes first? The verbal communication. Verbal dialogue between two people. So having the ability to speak clearly and convey your thoughts and ideas to other people through speech is a vital part of success. Those who have a good verbal communication skill, they are able to grab people's attention. They usually grab the attentions of the people and communicate a specific and concise point, to the point, subtlety. So concise point to those around them. So strong verbal communication allows people to engage each other in person and reach mutually agreeable conclusions. It helps us to to have the agreeable conclusions through a proper verbal communication. Now here are some of the tips how to improve your interpersonal communication skills, because it is necessary at this moment to have a strong and desirable command on your communication skill. The first thing is to put your mobile phone away. Smartphones have changed the way people engage and interact with each other. With the increase in smartphone usage, there has been a decrease in eye contact, attention spans, human interaction, and personal relationships. What we are losing? We are losing these four core areas. The first is eye contact. Second one is attention spans. And the third one is human interaction. And the most important is personal relationship. The second is maintain eye contact. Yes, it can be difficult truly to look someone in the eyes. We cannot look in someone's eye for a longer period, but it is necessary to have eye contact. But it is an essential part of having meaningful conversation. Maintaining eye contact makes the person you are speaking with feel validated and understood. So that is important to have and maintain eye contact in communication. Then the third one is let the person speak uninterrupted. In communication, this is most important. There should be a bipolar, two-way process of communication. So in most instances, do not interrupt others while they are talking. Let them speak uninterrupted. It's your time to be quiet. Focus on what the person is saying and try to truly understand the message they are trying to convey. So follow their dialogues consciously and try to understand the meanings of each word. The fourth one is avoid making presumptions and assumptions. This is the most problematic thing we everyone are facing in today's scenario, that we make assumptions and presumptions very fast. So people have a tendency, this is common tendency, to make the assumptions when they are missing a piece of information. In communication, if we are missing some piece of information, if you are not getting the point, what do? We start to make the presumptions and assumptions about the next person. So instead of asking questions when we don't know something, we jump to conclusions. So however, presumptions and assumptions derail the communications. It creates the gap in communications. So avoid presumptions and assumptions in your communication. The next point is be truthful. So always be honest. Honest in your interactions with others. So this truthfulness strengthens your relationships and establishes your integrity. Even telling a small lie can put you at risk of being labeled as a liar. So try to be truthful for all kind of wordings and sentences or the information that you are going to use in your communication. That is most important. Most important. Next is be aware of your gestures and postures. This is the vital part, necessary part, obligatory part of your communication. Gestures and postures. So interpersonal communication isn't just about what is said. It is not just a communication, exchange of words and exchange of sounds. Then what is it? It also involves, it includes what, how it is said, and the non-verbal messages that are communicated through one's gestures and body language. So we are talking to the next person, with the next person, and we are conveying so many things through all these gestures and postures. So along with the wordings, along with the good statements and sentence constructions, those you are going to use in your communications. So these things are important, but along with these things, your gestures and postures plays the most pivotal role in your communication. So be empathetic. So putting yourself in someone else's shoes can widen your perspectives about things. It is necessary to understand the situation of the next person to whom we are interacting, or the person to whom we are listening. So without empathy, misunderstandings happen quite often. So it is necessary to know and understand the mentality of the speaker. The next thing is develop a positive disposition. So what is developing a positive disposition then? So people are more likely to respond and gravitate towards their optimistic co-workers. Optimistic. So try to look for the news digesting every situation, even if the company is in a bad position. So what happens if we start to have a bad situation or having some problem? We do not concentrate on this kind of positivity in the disposition. We ought to be very realistic towards the creation of this kind of positivity at our workplace or wherever we are working. So developing a positive disposition is most important. Then what is the next point? This next point is most important. I think this is most important. Why? Because reading is important for becoming a good communicator. So read extensively. Reading can expand your horizon. It broadens your exposure to things that happen around the world, turning you into a better communicator. If you want to be a better communicator, or rather than, I would say, a best communicator, you must read extensively. Everything you read fills your mental ability with new information. Don't think so that you belongs to a arts stream. So why should you learn or study the concepts which are related to the commerce or medicine or technology? Don't think so. So everything is necessary in communication. So you never know when that knowledge will come in handy. So it is necessary to have a good habit of reading extensively. So express your gratitude and appreciation. It is the most important part. So some people feel awkward. Most of the time, I personally observe what most of the people feel awkward in expression their appreciation and gratitude in the workplace. So, however, this act helps foster a positive work environment, and people will recognize your part in bringing about this new culture. So wherever something good is happening, something new is happening, or something best thing is happening, please appreciate it, because it will create a new bonding between you and the other. Now let's move towards the written communication. This is the most important part, because we have been judged most of the time. The students, employees, professors, teachers, all these people, all these employees have been judged on the basis of their written competency, the knowledge of written communication. In recent scenario, if you lack these skill, that is written communication, people are likely to question your competence. So it is important to know the proper grammar and punctuation, as well as how to write succinctly, specifically, and with a good purpose. There must be a purpose behind writing or going for this kind of written communication. It must be succinct, it must be a specific and subtle. Then go for active listening. We all people do not like this kind of activity to listen the people. I know. Even student do not like to listen the great lectures or the lectures those which goes beyond the time or the duration. So active listening is the ability to listen to someone else talk with the intention of hearing what they are saying rather than having the intention of formulating a response. While attending or while listening to someone else, we usually go for formulation of a response. So don't make a haste. So please listen to that person actively and don't start to formulate a response first. Clarity is important in all sorts of communication, whether it could be a written communication, oral communication, or the communication through some sorts of, using the media. So when something goes terribly wrong in any organization, so we are running so many organizations, colleges, schools, banks. So in every organization, if something goes wrong, that is only because of there is no clarity in the communication. So there is usually one common factor, a breakdown in communication. What is it? There is no clarity in communication. So having a lack of clarity in your communication and failing to seek clarity can do a great deal of damage wherever you're working. So that could be a post of principal or the professor or the teacher or the student. So it is necessary to have a clarity in your communication. Then confidence. What comes next? Confidence. Workplaces are often full of challenges. Everywhere. There is no such place in the world where you'll never ever face any kind of challenge. There is no such place. Everywhere there is a problem, there is a challenge, there is a difficulty. So when you have a confidence, you are able to face these challenges head on. When you present yourself as being confident, you demand the attention of other people and they listen to your opinions and ideas. Why should they follow you? Why should they listen to you? If you want this should happen, then you ought to have to be much confident. You ought to have to be confident. So this is necessary. So interweaving skill. So what is interweaving? Strong interweaving skill is vital, important, obligatory in today's employment world. Everywhere. The people or the employer is not going to appoint you on the basis of your skin color or the look or the dressing sense. You will be appointed on the basis of your interweaving skill. So strong interweaving skill is the vital part in today's employment world. Even if you are not the best fit for a job, but with strong interweaving skill, you will make a good first impression. So your interweaving skill must be a stronger one. So negotiation. Why this negotiation is important? So negotiation isn't just a good financial habit that everyone must have. Having this ability to come to a mutually beneficial agreement with someone with different motivations than your own is an important part of soft skill. So this is important that you must be well aware of this kind of skill. Then the personal brand. What is this personal branding? Personal branding is about customer perception. Now, who are customer for us? We are professors. We are teachers. Who are customer for us? Students are the customers for us. So, customer perceptions and preferences, and is mainly focused on improving yourself while you are establishing your own brand. So you must have a good sense regarding how to create your own personal brand among the student as an employee in your institute or as an institution in your related area. So that area could be a commerce stream, film industry, as well as in education or some sort of productivity. So you must have this kind of, the personal branding. So that is most important. Then the next thing is persuasion. If you have the ability to persuade, you have the ability to influence other people. So I must say that all students must have this skill of persuasion. To pursue your skills, to pursue your course, to pursue everything, whatever you want to have in your life, consciously, attentively, with great kind of attention. It needs a great attention. Then the next skill is presentation. Presentation is most important because every time what people look into your personality, they look at the presentability of the person. So being able to present ideas and information in an effective way, how you are presenting your ideas and information that engages and motivate. It do not simply engage the people, but it motivates the audience. So it is a critical soft skill to have, but it is most critical among all soft skills to have. So this method of communication allows you to share evidence to back up in the argument. A good presenter can influence an audience to take action toward their desired outcome. So this is most important. If you are working as an authority or higher post, then all these people must have, personnel must have these presentation skill. Then the public speaking comes. Along with the interpersonal skill, public speaking skill is also most important. Effective public speaking skill is not only important for people who want to become a public leaders. Let me tell you the difference between a politician and the leader. Politician is the different one and the leader one is the different one. So don't get confused. So here I'm talking about the leadership. If you want to be a good leader, good communicator, good public speaker, so it is an important part of any successful interpersonal communication to have the public speaking ability and competency. So developing public speaking skill increases self-confidence. It enhances our own self-confidence and power to communicate with others. So strong public speaking skills put people in charge of their lives. So why do we follow the good communicator? Because that communicator have the ability to mold up the minds of the people and change their way of thinking. Storytelling comes then later on. So why storytelling is also a part of the communication. Being a good storyteller, it is an important skill, because with the right type of story, you can influence and persuade others. So stories can be a powerful way of communication, because it helps to create a connection. It creates a connection with other people that will help you to build trust and a good rapport between you and the other ones. So it is necessary to have these skills also. Then the diplomacy. What is diplomacy? What is being a diplomatic? So using diplomacy appropriately, appropriateness is most important while using or being a diplomat one. So using diplomacy appropriately will improve your relationships with other people and help you to build a mutual respect, which can then lead to more successful outcomes and fewer incidences of strained communication. When you are diplomatic, you have an understanding of other people and you are able to be open to their ideas, opinions, and beliefs and feelings. So be diplomatic. If you want to be a good communicator, you ought to have to be a diplomatic in your communication. Then having empathy is also one of the essential part of all sorts of communication. If you have an empathy, you'll be a better leader and you will have a better followers also. So being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, having empathy is what? Putting oneself in someone else's shoes. It will help you effectively understand their needs. I mean to say the needs of the next person, needs of the society, and it will help them to channelize one sort of motivation and to remove the fears, whatever they are having about you. So then the friendliness. Why friendliness is important? If you are a good communicator, but if you are not having this sort of skill with you, then you are lacking everything. So business is really about the relationship. So business is everywhere. Business is there between a teacher and the student. Business is there between employee and the employer. Business is there between a professor and the principal. Business is there between the principal and the management. So business is really about the relationship. And relationships are directly impacted by one's behavior. When you are friendly, it motivates and inspires people instead of turning them off. It helps to join the people. It helps to make the group. It helps the people to come with you and to work with you in a good situation. Then the networking. Along with all these kind of the skills, what is necessary in today's scenario? Networking, to develop a good network. So networking involves, what does it involve? It involves communicating with other people to develop personal as well as professional contacts, and to form mutually beneficial relationship. So there is nothing, there won't be happening anything else without the networking. If you are having a good network, then you are most successful leader, most successful communicator. Patience. Having a patience is most important. So have you ever heard that patience is a virtue? Yes, of course, it is a virtue. In our modern age, in this techno-savvy world, in this age of uncertainty, in our modern age, many people have forgotten to practice this virtue, this great skill among all the skills, that is the patience. And many people easily get irritated over minor things. However, if you have patience, you can avoid making hasty decisions. It is most essential to have the patience. Why? Because it helps us to avoid to make some sort of hasty decisions in our personal life, professional life, and to make some sort of great mistakes in the life. So it is necessary to practice it, because one cannot learn any kind of skill just by attending these kind of webinars or just going through a good books. It is the part of practice and practice and practice. That's it. Then the positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement increases productivity. If you are not having a good surrounding at your workplace, it will definitely affect your creativity and productivity. So positive reinforcement increases the productivity and improves the morale of employees. It also helps alleviate self-doubts and increase self-worth in the institute, at the workplace, or in your company. So positive reinforcement is most necessary along with all the explained soft skills. Then the sensitivity. Every day we are losing our sensitivity towards the happenings, whatever is happening around us in the world. When you are sensitive to other people's feelings, you have less chance of hurting them. So sensitivity helps you to be a good listener and to be a good speaker at the same time. So it is necessary to have this skill in this great kind of modernity, in a modern at this age, in the modern time. So tolerance, rightly, we are facing so many issues around us, and all these issues are having we started to have its bad impact on our temperament, on our nature, on our social behavior, on everything, on our culture, on our traditions. So here, for avoiding all these things, tolerance plays the most pivotal role. Being a tolerant and respectful of everyone around you is a key part of being successful in the life. Chances are, there are numbers of chances that you will work with people who are very different from you. I'm specifically mentioning that they might be from a different kind of caste, category, religion, language, culture, tradition. So different from you. It is necessary, it is important, it is an obligatory part to respect those differences. Those differences in order to have a successful partnership. If you want to have a great success, enjoy a good kind of life in the society, then it is necessary to learn and practice this tolerance skill. Then the next skill is problem solving soft skill. Now, how to solve problem? As I earlier mentioned, that everywhere problem, there is a problem, there is a difficulty, there is a wrong situation, there is an awkward situation. Then how to solve all these problems? So creativity and the ability, it needs creativity and the ability to solve problems and find solutions are such traits that many employers look for. All the employers need to have these kind of problem solving skill in their employee. The highest paying jobs usually require a lot of analytical and critical thinking to solve the problem. Why Sundar Pichai is paid with a handsome amount of salary every month? Because he's having an ability to solve the present problem, and he's having an ability to think of the occurring issues in the future span also. So it needs the skill, and that skill is the analysis. Why analysis is important in problem solving? So being analytical means you can break down the biggest problem into smaller problems. You're breaking it down into small segments. You're gathering the data, and you are at the same time evaluating every small segment very minutely. You're managing the information effectively, as well as you're trying to understand what analysis comprising. It comprising that the ability to understand complex those reading materials related with the information and the collected data. If they are students from the science faculty or the stream of technology, you will find they usually go for the collection of the data and the information regarding their research. So it is necessary that have this ability of analysis of a big problem. So understand complexity of that materials and create alternatives to find the proper solution. Getting the proper solution is also one of the most important issue in problem solving. Here, the next thing is artistic sense. Why artistic sense is necessary in problem solving skill, a learning problem solving skill? With an artistic sense, you have the ability, you get the ability, you learn the ability to appreciate the creativity, because in every sector of the life, in every area of the learnings, in every area of the productivity, in every area of the commerce, everywhere, creativity is required. So to appreciate creativity in work and explore and break conventional kind of bounds. So for breaking this conventional bound, for breaking a certain kind of conventional path, you need to be more creative than the other ones. Otherwise, what will happen if you are following same kind of route, same kind of way, same kind of path of production? What will happen? No one will take into account your productivity. Will be judged as a general one. If you want to be a special one among all the products, among all the personnels, then you must have the creativity. Then the designing ability is also an important part. It is the sub part of the creativity. Here, the next thing is divergent thinking. How divergent thinking is important in problem solving. Why this skill is most important. So divergent thinking involves developing innovativeness. So innovative and unique solutions. Usually what happens, we study the material, we follow the particular kind of syllabus of our course, and we come up with a certain kind of solutions. That is a general thing. Industry do not require the general solutions. Firms, production areas do not go for the general solutions. They need the unique solutions. They need the unique creativity. They go for the innovations. So for this kind of uniqueness, for the innovativeness, it is necessary to have the divergent think. Think with 360 degree. You are checking all the aspects, all the parameters, all the traits, everything related to the content which you are studying. So it requires making decisions that have been thoroughly explored to meet the need of your organization. If you really want to see your organization on the top level, then it is necessary to have such employees who are having this ability of divergent thinking in their related areas. Then, along with divergent thinking, experimenting is also necessary. Experiment. So with experimentation, now let's take the recent example. We were totally unaware of the using of this kind of Wi-Fi technology, computers, and the phones before the pandemic, but we have started to use with great mastery right now. We have learned, we have acquired the knowledge of using all these the aspects related to the technology. So this is what? This is the experimentation that we have done with ourselves, that I must not lag behind in the concern in the related areas of using the technology in the pedagogy. So this is necessary everywhere, in every sector, experimenting. So with experimentation, you can be creative in your quest for solution to a problem. So this means you are willing. It needs the internal willing, strong willing to make some proper changes, required changes in one's behavior. Otherwise, it won't be possible. So try to new things and be flexible. Be flexible. Don't be stubborn. Don't be that much, very, very kind of stiff to all the changes in the life. Don't think so ever that it is not much usable in my life. So go for all kind of changes in the life. Be flexible. So imagination. The next point is the imagination. Do we require any kind of, the monetary support to imagine the good things? Of course not. We do not require any kind of monetary kind of support to imagine the good things. So imagination encourages. So go for the good imagination then, best imagination in the life then. So it encourages, specifically for the student. This point is specifically for the students. Go for the good imagination in the life because it encourages the creativity and the innovation. There is a saying that a barber won't be a barber without the razor. So I would like to say that a student won't be a student without the creativity and the imagination and the innovation. If you are a student, then it is necessary that student must have, he ought to have these three things in the life: the imagination, creativity, and the innovation. A sense of imagination is the principal ingredient in the advancement of society, in the advancement of our personal achievement, in the advancement of the professional achievement, in the advancement of even the nation. So this imagination plays the most pivotal role in every sector of the life, from a studenthood up to the life of the, the Prime Minister of the India. So everywhere imagination is most important. Then comes the innovation. Innovation has become a critical skill for success in developed economies. Rightly, I forgot the name of one of the professor who has mentioned economy, word of economy in his talk earlier. So it is most important this innovation is most important to have a developed economy in the country like India. So it involves creative problem solving that addresses problems needing unique insights. It develops the insights within us. But how insights? What sorts of insights? Unique insights. We usually go with this kind of, the mere statement that we are all unique, but we do not know exactly the meaning of this word, what exactly this word unique stands for. So this innovation gives us this insight to understand what sort of uniqueness I am having exactly. So there is no innovation without creativity. Often the most cost-effective businesses, must have heard numbers of businesses, but the most cost-effective businesses, solutions come from the innovations only. So innovation is the most important skill if you want to work in the professional life as an employee, as a manager, as a person who want to launch a new product in the society. Insight, as I already talked about the insight, so there is no need to talk much on about the insight. Then the inspiration. Why inspiration is necessary? Why it is necessary? To read the inspirational stories, to follow the person, those who have done a great job in their life. So studies have found that people who have a high rating on the inspirational scale, also have characteristics of evocation, transcendence, and motivation. They are often open to new experiences. If you are following all these kind of legendary characters, are the people, those who have done great job, those who have made the history in their related areas. If you are following them, accepting them as a role model for you, then definitely you are going to have this kind of skill as a changing skill in your life. And you are really will find a better changes in your life. So lateral thinking is also important. What is lateral thinking? Thinking at the same time with a parallel mentality. So with lateral thinking, you are able to be creative on demand and therefore develop new ideas. One uses lateral thinking to make a move from a known idea to a new idea by changing the direction. So it is necessary to have the lateral thinking. Let me cite a very suitable example how lateral thinking is important. If you are preparing an examination for the examination like UPSC, go for the lateral thinking and think about the other examination which are as important as or as equal as the earlier example like the UPSC one. So lateral thinking is also important if you want to have a most successful in the life. So logical reasoning then. So what is logical reasoning? Problems that require logical reasoning. If you want to solve any problem in the life, you need to have this skill, and that is the logical reasoning. So it demands the ability to identify the relationships between the facts and recognize the pattern. You must be aware of this thing that while solving a problem, you need to follow a particular kind of problem to get the suitable solution for that problem. So logical reasoning helps us to understand the relationship between the fact and that pattern which we are using to get the proper solution to get the solution for the at the place of your working. Mind mapping. You know what is mind mapping? Mind mapping helps to improve your memory through the use of imagery and color. And it encourages creativity and helps you to generate a new idea. Mind mapping is important. You should be able to map the mind of your employer, to map the mind of your customer, to map the mind of the mass of the society. So, those who know how to use this skill can make visual connections. Visual connection. If you got a clue that you are on a right track, you have mapped the mind of the next person. It will create the connection between the thought and the ideas and organize their thinking before deciding on the best way of the result or to do the things in the life. Observation. I know as I earlier mentioned, the learning skill is not an easy task. It needs the patience. So observation is the next point. What is observation? Improving your observation skills helps you to notice details that will improve your decision-making skill. In decision-making, your observation plays the most pivotal role. So what does it require? It requires the persistence. Then what is persistence? In order to be truly successful in the life, if you want to be successful in your related area, whether that could be a bureaucracy or the politics or the business, you need to have this skill, that is the persistence. You have to be willing to stick with something. You have to have a particular kind of goal in the life, a particular kind of object, a particular kind of idea, a particular kind of vision in the life. So that is the sticking with something. Even when time gets tough, if you are a persistent, your greatest success may come right after your greatest failures. There is no one in the world who have not faced the unsuccess in the life. We everyone have faced failure in the life. So what when success will be there in the life? Of course, if you are having this kind of skill of perseverance, persistence. Then the reframing. Keep on reframing the things. Keep on reframing, restructuring, rebuilding. What is rebuilding, restructuring, and reframing, and why this thing is important in the way of a success? Reframing expands your thinking. It expands your thinking ability. When you rebuild the thing, when you reshape the thing, when you reframe the thing, you start to think about that kind of reframed structure in a different manner, using a variety of mental models to figure out. You create the different models mentally after the reframe to figure out what is going on and what you need to do in a complex situation. If you fail to sort out the issue, if you fail to get the proper solution, reframe it. Reframe the structure, reframe the data, reframe the methodology of the solution. Definitely you will get the suitable solution to that problem. Then what comes next? That is the troubleshooting. All techno-savvy people are aware of this word, troubleshooting. What is troubleshooting? Why troubleshooting is important in every sector? Every sector. With the troubleshooting skill, you can better understand. It helps you to understand how systems work, how system works, and what improvements can be made in the system to have the better results in the future. If you are aware of the troubleshootings, then definitely there is a great possibility that you are going to enjoy a grand success in the future. So it helps us not simply to understand the workability of the system, the potentials of the system, the creativity of the system. Along with all these things, it helps us to go for certain improvements that can be made in the system. So troubleshooting requires, what it requires? It requires the balance of creativity and logic. Troubleshooting must be along with the creativity and the logical thinking. It must not go separately. It is useless without the creativity and without the logic. Then let's go for the very prominent, most essential skill in the life, that is the leadership. We everyone want to be a leader in our area, related area. The area like teaching, the area like, the production, the area like, the management, the area like, some sort of creativity, or the film industry. We want to be a leader. Everyone. So no matter the size of the company or the business you are applying to, you will eventually encounter a situation requiring leadership skills. This leadership skill is essential in every area of the life. Even in your personal life, it is necessary that you must have a leadership skill in your at your personal working place, even in your family. It is necessary. So leadership skills are most important. Leadership skill is most important if you are looking for promotion or even a career change. If you want to shift from one sector to another one, it is necessary to have this leadership skill. So pursue it, have it, practice it. It is necessary. What comes as a most essential part to build a good leadership within us? So this is most important, that one must be able to manage the people. A leader must be able to manage the people or the worker or the followers. So with the ability to motivate, what leaders generally do. So he motivates the people. He motivates. So with the ability to motivate and manage people, successful employees can handle regional, personal, and language differences, which are all common in businesses. Let's take the example of educational institute. We all people belongs to the different streams. We all are unique one. We are all from different regions. Everyone are having unique style of speaking, and there is a definitely, of course, there is a difference of culture and tradition and religion, everything. So, being as a principal of your college, what that person is doing, or the management is doing, they are managing you well. So, in a true sense, they are the leader. So, what is the role of a leader? To manage the people. Then, to manage the project. The next thing of a leader is what? To manage the project. We are running numbers of projects. Let's take this example. Today's our webinar. This is one of the projects. The principal is managing the project very well. You people, the convener of this program, Professor Kamle sir, is managing this project very well. So what is this? This is the sign of a leadership. So it must be known to you that how to see a project, how you are looking at that project. No project is much valuable, or no project is less valuable. Every project is a superior one. So the way you look at the project, that makes the difference. That makes the difference. So it must be known to you that how to see a project through the completion. Through the completion. If you, you also have to be knowledgeable about every step that needs to be taken. It needs to be taken. Right now, you are following every step while conducting this e-webinar. You are managing this project very well. So you are concentrating on all the steps which are required to be taken care of. at this moment. So the realistic timeline that it must be followed. In leadership, it is necessary that you must be realistic. Being a visionary is necessary, but there is no, expected, come out of the result without the reality. Even though if you are having a great vision about your work, so being realistic is necessary. Then how to manage the team? It is one of the part of the leadership to manage the team properly. So for managing the team, it is necessary that you must be well knowledgeable about every aspects of a single entity of the team and the personnel, those who are working with you. Then the talent management. This is a recent trend. Talent management. So what is talent management? Talent management is a leader's commitment. Why a specific, let me know from you, why a specific institute is the superior one, famous one? Why the Oxford University is the famous one among all the other universities? Because that university is, the management of that university is managing the talent of the employee, the talent of the workers. So managing the talent is a new thing, definitely for all of us. So talent management is a leader's commitment to recruit, hire, retain, and develop the most talented team possibly. It is necessary that the management should hire, recruit the talented team to get the expected result in the future. So with the talent management skills, you can retain the most skilled employees by offering them opportunities to improve within their jobs. But at the same time, you must allow the employee who is talented one to get developed. You should allow him to make some better kind of changes in his career graph. So that is also important. So through the opportunities to improve within their jobs and further develop their professional skills, because ultimately this team is going to be more fruitful for the development of your institute in the future span. Then the next thing is agility. What is agility? So things in business these days change so quickly. We are facing a quick change in every sector of their life. So quickly and so often that employees need to be able to work on their feet and quickly adapt a new circumstances. And of course, according to this kind of, as per the need of this requirement, we all people have imbibed this skill, and we have started to adapt the new circumstances. So employees need to be flexible and responsive to the changing variables, and be willing to let go of doing things in order to keep up with the rest of the world. We must be well acquired with new technology, new changes, new kind of the things in the area of the pedagogy, or the person who wants to be the good one in his area, then he must be more flexible to go for the new changes in his life. Then coaching. Coaching is also important. Why coaching is important? to be as a coach. With coaching skills, you are using observational analysis and critical thinking to be the strategist on your team. With proper coaching skill, you can boost the growth of your team and mold them in a way that benefits your final vision. So be as a good coach. If you are in the chair of a principal, then you ought to have to be a good coach in your institute for the team members of your college. So it is necessary. And the next thing is conflict and dispute resolution. As I have earlier mentioned, there is no such place in the world where there is no problem or the difficulty or the conflict. It is everywhere. Conflict is everywhere, dispute is everywhere. Then how to resolve the conflict and the disputes? So leader must often handle a wide array of interpersonal issues in their companies. In order to be a successful leader, you have to be able to see all sides of an issue to take or make confident final decisions in the matter while solving a conflict or the dispute. So it is necessary that you ought to have a 360 wide angle vision. You must not look into the matter with one single eye. Then the culture, deal making. We everyone are making the deals in the life, in social life, in cultural life, in professional life, everywhere. We are making the deals. So being a good deal decision maker, it ensures that your company is prepared for a wide range. Please don't misunderstood the word company for the company that one is only producing some products. This word company stands for every sector. Every sector. So your company is prepared for a wide range of issues that present themselves unexpectedly. So in this regard, you need to be more conscious while making any decisions. Giving a clear feedback. Usually, being as a teacher, professor, associate professors, we all people are attending numbers of seminar conferences. And when the time comes to give or to mention the feedbacks, we most of the time go with the fantastic and a very excellent kind of feedback. So that must not happen. We must be very clear while mentioning the feedbacks, very authentic, very particular while giving the clear feedback. So here, this is one of the skill for the being as a good manager. Then strategic planning. We everyone are having a strategy, and we everyone are running a specific kind of methodology to have a good result, to get the good results in the life, expected results in the life. So for that thing, we need to have the skill, how to plan a strategy. So strategic planning requires you to look forward, not backward. You must look ahead. Where? In the future. What is going to be there in the coming time, in the coming future? So you must have that look ahead for the next 50 years, for the next 100 years. So instead of only looking at past successes. We usually enjoy the past success, that we had done this thing, we had achieved this thing, I was like this and I was like that. Once I used to do that, I used to be like that. But don't enjoy that kind of, the past happened things. Look ahead. So plan your strategy for the future. So you have to be able to create a vision and plan it according to a successful future business operation. So your planning must be according to that kind of, the future and the problems that you are going to have in the future. Then team building is also important, and versatility. What is versatility? Versatility, you can remain with the company for a long term and easily adapt to its constantly changing needs. Change is the constant phenomena which is applicable to every sector of the life. Change. It is the constant phenomena. So according to it, a versatile personality change his behavior, his pattern of working, his strategies, his planning, his workability, his productivity, everything. So you will be able to rise up to the organization's challenges and move into various roles to help the company in the way that you that are outside of your job descriptions. Sometimes if you want to prove that you are a true leader, then go out of your expected kind of the stereotype definition that you have made for the leadership. Let's come out of the frame and do something good for your institution, for your work, for your team. So that is the true definition of versatility. Authenticity. Authentic. When you are authentic, people trust your integrity. Why should people trust you if you are not authentic one? So authenticity is most important. Then encouragement is also there. Generosity is there. These are the other kind of sub skills which need to be taken care of while learning the earlier mentioned skills. Humility is also one of the part of these soft skill. Then the work ethic. Let's go for the work ethic. Although it's more important to show rather than tell them how much you value your job. You value your job, knowing the right words to use when presenting your work ethics is also important. Work ethic is most important, no matter what sort of job you are doing. Ethic, exhibits. If you are, following the ethics, it automatically exhibits what sort of person you are and what sort of value you are giving to your own work. So these soft skill is most important. So what does it require? It requires the attentiveness. Ethic is what exactly? Ethic is nothing but to be an attentive. When information being communicated, the sender and the recipient both have, the sender and the recipient both have a responsibility to accomplish the task, to follow the message, to do the job. So it needs what? It needs the attentiveness. Then what is the next ethic? Business ethic. Companies value employees who deal honestly with all people. how much honesty you are having about your work, about the selected content, data, material, research, productivity, relationship. So it is necessary that you are to have to be honest with all the things in the life. So from co-worker to the customers, stakeholders, and the vendors, everywhere. What is necessary along with the business ethics and attentiveness? Calmness. Calm. So calmness allows you to have a clarity in your thinking and prevents you from making hasty decisions. Calmness. Let the situation go against you. Let the matters, the whole world go against your thinking ability or your creativity or your power or your decision making. Stay calm, because it will help you to take the right decision. Then competitiveness. I think, as per my view is concerned, I think competition is most important. You have to continue. If you want to have improvement in you, a continuous improvement in order to be the best one. So you acquire more market share, greater profits, long-term growth, which improves the welfare of the business. Everywhere, competition is there. So if there is no competition, there won't be any kind of improvement in your creativity, in your way of thinking, in your doing the job, in your structuring the things. So that is necessary. Along with the competitiveness, curiosity is also important. How much curious you are to know the new things in the life. So always be curious to know the new things, to learn the new concept, to know the hidden things in the life. Then dependability is there. Discipline. Rather than talking on the dependability, discipline is most important. So I would like to focus on the discipline. A disciplined worker. We are all workers. Even discipline is most important in the life of everyone. It is most important for the student. A disciplined student worker is known. The people generally believe in the work of the person who is self-disciplined. So employees must discipline themselves to produce the quality work. Without the disciplines, you cannot expect any kind of quality work. So discipline is necessary in study. Discipline is necessary in research. Discipline even necessary in management, teaching, professions, everywhere. So businesses strive to cultivate a workplace with standards that everyone is called upon to meet or to have this kind of the skill in them. That is the discipline. They always like to have a person or a worker who is self-disciplined. Then the most important part, emotional management. What is emotional management? So emotional management, leaders face the challenges, of turning the negative emotions into positive ones. We most of the time, face this kind of, the negativity in our own personal life. We everyone have faced so many times. So let's turn that negative emotions into the positive one. In the business environment, negative emotions are often the rule rather than the exceptions. But those who are able to manage, there is no success without the adversity, there is no problem, there is no solution without the problem, such like that there is no success without the managing the emotions and turning that negative emotions into the positive one. Let's move ahead and let's talk about the initiativeness. Initiativeness. Whether you find an issue with a product or a thing, of a new way to market something, taking initiative in the workplace is important. Your first step is most important. You have planned everything. You have made decisions, great decisions. You have jotted down everything in your personal diary, and you are having great vision. But if you are not having this skill to take initiative, then it is all useless in men. So it is necessary. So it is necessary to implement and have this skill in the life. Then motivation. Motivation is also one of the most important part. Then go for the open-mindedness. What is open-mindedness? Being open-minded means that you are adaptable to a new work environment and a job, no matter. Because during this pandemic, numbers of people have lost their jobs. A software engineer started to work in a different field, but still he is happy because of that adaptability, because of that open-mindedness. So open-mindedness is necessary because the world is full of uncertainty. Recently, the war is going on in the Ukraine. Most of the European countries have joined as an opponent to the Russian country. So there is uncertainty, great instability in the world. So open-mindedness is most important. So with this skill, if you are having open-mindedness, you are likely better to handle the job, the new sector, new area, new avenues, new people, everything new, and co-workers who are different from what you are used to. So this is necessary that to have this skill and practice this skill at your workplace, open-mindedness, optimistic view, optimism. So being optimistic is not only a strategy, it is not only a part of strategy, being an optimistic. So it is usually help to feel good. If you are under pressure, if you are having some sort of, the problems in the life, think about it with the optimistic vision. It will soothe you, it will help you to comfort with the problem, and you will easily get the solution in the life. So when you are able to focus on your innate character, it helps us to look into the innate character, optimism. So it provides us the internal strengths and ability. This optimism gives us the inner strengths and the ability. Instead of your perceived failures, you can increase your level of the success. You can rise as a upgoing graphs of your success. Then professionalism is also most important. If you really want to be a successful one, your professionalism is necessary. So when a company hires you, you will often represent that company to other people, clients, and businesses. They want you to be able to look and act in professional manner. So be professional. If you are in a professional life, be professional. If you are in your personal life, don't follow that professionalism, but always follow the professionalism in your professional career, wherever you are working as a professional one, as a worker one. So it is necessary to be a professional in one's life. Then punctuality is most also important part. Reliability is there. Then resilience is also there. We know all these things. Punctuality plays the most pivotal role to get accomplished everything in a due course of time. So it helps us to do the job in a specific duration. So responsibility. Who accepts the responsibility in a positive manner? Rarely we dare to accept the responsibility that we are responsible to accomplish that particular kind of job in the life or in the professional area. We are responsible for the good gradations of the students in the examination. We are responsible to create a good atmosphere in the society. To accept this responsibility. Rarely this responsibility have been accepted by the specific peoples. So business leaders prefer to promote employees who are able to work without constant supervision. And it may be difficult to take the responsibility if something goes wrong. So one must accept the responsibility that I am responsible. I am responsible for my area. I am responsible for my result. I am responsible for the good atmosphere. I am responsible for the progress of the students. I am responsible for everything, whatever is going on in the society around us. If something is happening wrong with someone else, somewhere, directly and indirectly, we are responsible for that happening. So accept the responsibility positively. So be result-oriented. Be result-oriented. Do not simply be great visionary. Do not simply have a great strategy or be a good leader. Result orientation is necessary. Result-oriented. Of course, businesses want to be results-oriented. It is our business. Pedagogy is the business now. In today's scenario, pedagogy has become a business. So we ought to have to be result-oriented. But what does the reality mean? Reality is the different thing. So if you are a result-oriented employee, it means that you can clearly define the result that you want to achieve and then make the necessary plan to make that happen. You're working on it positively. So taking the criticism, no one wants to listen the criticism. No one wants to have the critical comments from the other. Everyone wants to fly in a beautiful colors with a lovely words offered by or given by or used by the others for you. But go for the critical comments in the life at the same time. Then the next skill is the teamwork. Accept the feedback. While being a part of a team, accept the feedback, positive feedback, negative feedback, criticism, suggestions, instructions positively. Work on it, attentively, consciously. So collaboration is also important. It is the general tendency of a common human being that I am the master, I am the superior, I am the best, I am the master of everything. So don't have this kind of mentality for all kind of jobs, all kind of work in the life, because a single entity cannot bring expected result in the life. It gives us the team helps us to get the grand success, expected result in the life. So collaboration is necessary, cooperation is necessary, coordination is necessary. So deal with difficult and different situations. Always get ready that you are going to have the worst thing in the life, the different situation in the life, the difficult situation in the life. So always be ready with your plan, your strategy, your vocabulary, your methodology to resolve the issue. Then the disability awareness. It is the statement of a psychologist that we are all disabled personalities. We are all disabled personalities, but we do not accept this reality. We look at the physical disabilities only. We look at generally the physical disabilities, a paralyzed person, a mentally retarded person, a person who cannot, listen properly, a blind person. But who is taking care of the psychological problems or the problems that exactly we all people are having? Nobody, no one else. So one must be aware of this kind of, the psychological disabilities, emotional disabilities, along with the physical disabilities, because we all have born with certain disabilities. Let me share with you a very, very good example, fantastic examples of such great disabilities, the people with all these kind of disabilities and how they cope up with the disabilities and how they achieved a grand success in their lives. Let me cite a first example of Helen Keller, who was disabled, who was having a disability of deafness and blindness. And the achievements, she's a well-known author, disability rightly advocates. She became a political activist. She became later on a lecturer. So this is the finest example. Then the next example is Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking, the well-known personality. He was having a problem of, amyotropic lateral kind of, sclerosis. Sclerosis. It's a disease. Sclerosis. He was having a problem of sclerosis disease, but still he, did a great kind of, job in his related area. He's a well-known physicist, cosmologist. He was the director of a research center for the theoretical cosmology at the University of Cambridge. And he is the recipient of various prizes, awards, and medals. Then the next example is Nick Vujicic. Nick Vujicic. This is the next example of the great disability. So this person is having the tetraamelia syndrome problem. Faced the tetraamelia syndrome problem in his life, but he is much known for his great achievement in the area as a good preacher and a motivational speaker. He's known for his motivational speaking throughout the world. Then the Christopher Reeve is there, paralyzed person. Paralyzed one, physically is not able to move anywhere or to walk and dance like us. But still, he is much famous as a good actor, an advocate for the life. Inspire the people, those who are having the disabilities in their lives. Then the next example is, Kahlo, Mexican painter, Kahlo. Frida Kahlo. So she was having multiple, disabilities, including childhood polio, then permanent spinal and pelvis damage following a car accident. Being in during a car accident, but still she's much famous for her art and national prize winner. There is 3-4 examples more, but I would like to go for the last one that is most important for the student, Mark Pallock, blindness and paraplegia, disability. but he proved that he is the good athlete. In spite of having all these kind of the physical disabilities, he proved that he is a good athlete, motivational speaker, explorer, and the author. Mark, Pollock is a former athlete and a current motivational speaker, author, and the researcher from the Ireland. So this is the best example. So kindly do not neglect the disabilities. We all people are having the disabilities in various forms. Use it in a proper way. Use your internal strength and turn that negativity into the positive one and have the expected result. So here, exchange your ideas. If you are having good ideas, do not keep it with you. Exchange it with others, because exchanging ideas, exchanging thoughts will lead to the more productivity, more good results. Then interpersonal relation skills is important. While imbibing all these are the skills. Moreover, respect is necessary. Please do not disrespect anyone else in the life. Everyone is the unique one. Everyone is doing the best job. Respect everyone's job, everyone's work, everyone's creativity, because that person have a different look that you don't have. That person has a different has a different kind of the style to accomplish the task. So show the respect for everyone's creativity. Then go for the self-awareness. When you are self-aware, student, teacher, professional, principal, management, everyone, when you are self-aware, you recognize your strength. Why self-awareness is important? Because it helps us to recognize the strength and the weaknesses. It helps us to do the SWOT analysis. So studies have shown that one of the main reasons startups fail is because that they don't have the right team, and they were unaware of the self-awareness. So do the self-awareness. Be continuously introspect yourself. Have the social skill. Without having the social skill, one cannot run any kind of business in the life. One cannot accomplish any kind of task. One cannot go for any kind of resolution of any kind of problem or any issue in the life. So time management is one of the next skill. So time and tide wait for none. If you are consciously utilizing the time, then definitely you are more closer to the achievement. So coping. So please fill up the gaps between the time and the task which you are going to handle in the future span. Utilize the proper timing. Go for the task which is most important to be done within the duration of the limited duration. Go for it. Give the first preference to that task, first of all. It needs the critical observation. It also needs the focus. Focus is necessary. So you ought to have to be focused in your all kind of job while accomplishing it. Now let's go for the goal setting. What is goal setting? Goal setting is important because it requires you to have a confidence in your abilities. A person who is not having a confidence, he cannot set any goal for himself or herself. In addition to an attitude of hopelessness. So further, being skilled in setting goals demonstrates self-awareness and time management skill. It needs both the thing for setting the goal. Time management and the self-awareness. Without the time management and self-awareness, one cannot set the goal. I will simply focus on the 7 types of different types of goals. Before that, what one should follow while setting the goal in one's life. Set the big goal. It must be the smart one, achievable one. Does it alone? It must be done. It must be, practiced by the person who wants to achieve it. Understand the power of the positive thinking. Keep your goal achievable. It must be measurable. And nothing is impossible in the life. Everything is possible. Use a self-talk. Instruct yourself every day. Instruct yourself every day. Guide yourself every day. Then consistency is important. Without consistency, one cannot achieve any kind of goal in his life. Consistency is important. Practicing good habits is also one of the most important part. Practicing good habits, because it needs the great efforts, great endurance, a great kind of the positive thinking to practice the good habit. Because one can easily imbibe the bad habit, but it needs the great strength to practice the good habit in one's life. So there are specifically 7 types of goal. The first is the financial goal. Financial goal. I want to be a billionaire. I want to be a millionaire. Then professional goal is there, intellectual goal is there, spiritual goal is there, and professional development is there. So for this thing, it needs the introspection, memorization power, organization. Then personal time management is also most important. To prioritize your things, first of all. Recall the things. Recall the things. So many times we forgot so many issues while doing or accomplishing the jobs. Keep everything with you as a ready reckoner to complete the job. Reschedule everything, schedule everything. Have a good sense regarding the urgency. I will take only next 5 minutes. Then the streamlining. Make a streamline. Streamlining your work involves cutting out an unnecessary task and reducing the amount of paperwork and excess in information that isn't required for the progress. Cut it short. If unnecessary thing is there, let it be cut off from the mainstream. So there must be a streamlining. Then stress management is most important. Stress management. One must be able to manage the stress, personal stress. So employer wants to work with people who can effectively manage their stress to avoid employees burnout or the turnover. So while working in a good firm, in an institute, we generally feel stress. So one must be capable, and one must have the capability to manage this stress. Then task planning, the last goal. Task planning. What is task planning? Task planning involves setting goals, finding necessary resources, and scheduling events. We usually miss the things, what exactly we are having around us. Use all those resources properly. So schedule your events that are related to the certain task. When you are able to do this effectively, you can achieve your goals in the amount of time that you have available. Thank you so much. I think I have elaborated so many things at a time, and definitely, having a patience to listen such a long lecture is really a difficult task. So I'm really grateful to the management of the Shri Dhaneshwar Mahavidyalaya Nevasa. Specifically, I'm thankful to the Honorable Principal of the college, Dr. Kalhapure sir, Dr. Avare, who is the coordinator of IQSC, and of course, Professor Dr. Kamble sir, HOD convener of this webinar, who has given me this opportunity to share my views. Of course, I have crossed my line while explaining the things in detail. And I'm also thankful to Professor Sargaya ma'am, and I must not miss the name of my esteemed colleague, friend, Professor Dr. Saddive, who has suggested my name for this lecture and webinar. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Sir just enriched us with his lecture. All participating faculties and students must have understood the use of soft skills in professional life. Now, sir also told us how we should be clear in our gratitude and attitude. We should be confident while presenting ourselves, and one should be keep patience while solving the problems. Lastly, it is said that soft skills have more to do with who we are than what we know. Now, I would like to thank Dr. Khanderao, who illuminated all the participants with his speech. Next, I would like to thank all the dignitaries, faculties, participants, and students who actively participated in the webinar. Lastly, I would like to thank our principal, vice principal, IQAC coordinator, faculty in charge, librarian, and the convener of the webinar. Thank you all. The feedback link of this webinar will be provided later on the WhatsApp group. Now, on behalf of organization committee, I declare that this session is over. Thank you.
हॅलो कांबळे सर. हॅलो कांबळे सर, आवाज येतोय का? हॅलो.